Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Big Tiger Plays Modular Mayhem. So off camera I've done a little bit of mob grinding during the night. Got ourselves some more ender pearls, and more importantly I got ourselves some MRU. Not much left, but I did use a whole bunch of it to make everything we needed for the heat generator. So we had these already, we made those, that's pretty simple. We made these before, that was simple. Made the magical ingots, we made the magical plate, we made the magical display, pretty simple, some more magic fortified frames, and we've got ourselves a heat generator. Let's see if we can't use this. Let's put this right here. Okay. So we are going to need to give it fuel. I hope it uses coal coke. That would be nice. Let's grab this coal coke, and while we're thinking of it, let's get some more going. Very nice. Let's see. Coal coke and no. Wrong machine. Coal coke in here. And it starts to burn it, and you'll get magical slag out of that. What can you use magical slag for? Lots of different things. Well, I guess a couple things. Anyway, we should start to heat up, and it will start generating, hopefully, sometime soon. This is going to need to heat up and start making MRU. I think it would have started already. We'll let that go for a second. We are going to take out, there's a bound gem in there, there's a bound gem here. If you shift right click, it'll unbind it. So there's one there, there's another one here, unbind that one. How are we doing? Nothing yet. It's actually rather interesting. Maybe it doesn't make anything until it is linked. So let's take you, and let's put you, oops, take you, put you in here, and let's take you, put you in here. So it says no MRU in tile. We are burning. This does last a rather large amount of time. Let's take a look in the book. Maybe I missed something. Generate MRU from items. Burning items during temperature. The more the temperature, the more MRU. Oh, that's what I missed. That's what I missed. So, we need fire, lava. So it looks like if we put lava 2 blocks away in each direction is what we need. So let's get our lava. We have a bucket. If it has water in it, water down. Bring this with us. Did we not get that back? Oh, here it is. Okay. I lost it for a second there. I'm actually going to move this, which means I'm going to need to relink all those gems. That's fine. So let's put this down. Let's take our heat generator. Let's put it just a little farther back, put that there. So it looks like the air here. You're gonna want the lava to flow towards it. No, this needs to be down one. Totally forgot about this step. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna make this a little bit prettier in a second. Basically, if I remember correctly, put this here. Then you take your lava and you let it flow towards it. Nope. Right there. And right here. Then you take your fuel, put it right there, and we're making 16 MRU a tick, 8, 16, and we'll start producing MRU. I'm going to cover up this lava because that's rather dangerous. And you notice it's not coming in here because this gem is bound to the position right here, and there's nothing there anymore. So clear it. Get this one. We'll clear it. And now we link to this block, that block. And let's add one there, one there. And look, we are completely full of MRU. This thing produces a heck of a lot, 16 MRU a tick, 8 MRU a tick. I believe as it heats up, it will produce it quicker. So I want to make something a little bit desirable, a little bit pretty. No, not stone. That's my mistake. Let's take the glass. Here we go. I think this glass actually looks rather nice. So let's go like this. That to here, to here. So we don't need this. Oops, that is not what I meant to do. I used the area miner ability, and I did not mean to use area miner there. Okay, looks like we're going to need to make another piece because we lost some there. Yep, we need to make another one of these. Yeah, it's not hard. This iron is glass. Iron, glass gives us this. You'll notice this has chaos 1.3771. So your MRU is has a rating to it. This is chaos MRU. See, this is much better. And we can just look in here. We can consume coal coke to make it. I think it will stop using it when we don't have a need for it. So we are able to go headstrong in. We have a pretty large sustainable amount of MRU for us to use. Back to this chaos right here. So our source is chaos. So this is making chaos MRU. And certain recipes will require, so say I was putting, something in here to make, a recipe. Some recipes require certain levels of MRU. Everything starts at 1. When 1 is pure, anything below 1 is, I forget what they call it, it's cold. And anything above 1 is hot or chaos. I think it's frozen and chaos. But one thing I know we can do is, I think we put our research book here. It'll give us our our third tier book. And see, that was 100, and that just made it rather quickly. So now we have, so I said memory corruption, so standing next to it. We're on to the next tier. So let's go back. There are some things in here we should make at some point. I'll just go over some of them. Here's a magical hopper. It kind of works like a hopper. That's not really that useful. Terrain smasher. This is like a very simplified version of a quarry, and mine's like 18 blocks in front of it and it stops. Weapon bench, you can make pistols, assault rifles, snipers, and they use your UBMRU, I think, to deal damage. I'm not going to make any of that. That's just seems like it's more PvP. We are going to make the magmatic furnace, magical chest made out of magic plating blocks. So it has a capacity of 54, which I think is basically a double chest in the space of a single chest. Makes out of 8 magical plating blocks, and then the second version, which is made of void stones, which we don't have access to yet. You have magical replanter, which you can automate your crops with. Item shuffler, which I have no idea why you would ever use it. Basically moves blocks around it into a random fashion every time it gets a redstone signal. I don't know why you would ever want to do that. You can auto craft things, you can feed your animals, create an animal farm, you can shoot your sheep automatically, made another thing out of a separator, and this is the advanced terrain smasher, which is still rather poor quarry. So the only thing we do want to get is the magmatic furnace, which is 8 magic fortified plates, which you get out of putting magic fortified stone into your magician table. We'll do that. That's simple. And a heat rod. So let's see if we can't make that real quick. Let's see, down there. We have 7, so we need 1 more. So let's go iron, stone. Gives us that. Let's get 8 of these going. I'll make this the plates. Let's get away from the radiation. We actually need to eat. On our adventures collecting UBMRU, we slayed, about 1,000 cows out there. So we have a lot of steak. I'm looking for flame drops. Where are our flame drops? Oh, well, they're on us. Okay, so let's make a heat rod. Because I think the last thing we needed. Hopefully this is done. It is. And so let's go. Bam. And bam. Magmatic furnace. Okay, let's put you down. Okay, so you also need a bound gem. So let's go get a piece of nether quartz. Go. After that, with an elemental gem. Give us yet another bound gem. I do like that this doesn't use pipes. It uses this like linking system. So let's click it on that. Link to that block. Put you in here. Should be start to fill up. Yep, fills right immediately. Fills up. What are we doing here? Yeah, this stores 10,000, and each of these have 5,000 as a buffer. So we'll have what, 15,000? And I've never actually used this. Let's see how this works. Let's grab a stack of iron just for testing. Let's see how this works. Okay, so that uses it rather quickly. Is this going to be able to keep up? It's making 16 MRU a tick. We could probably make a second of those pretty easily. This does look like it goes rather slowly. But it makes this magmatic alloy. And I believe if we go and actually smelt this, it'll give us 2? No. Okay, how do we use this? Use. Use. No. Okay. Am I missing something? Okay, let's take that. Let's take this back out. Put it in here. Okay, so this seems to be what you do. You just reprocess it again. So it does seem like we're going to be using a heck of a lot of MRU power here just to process our ores. Okay, so each one of those doubles. So this is ore doubling. It's going to take a heck of a lot of time, a heck of a lot of power. We could make a second one of these because it does seem like this coal coke is going to be a great asset in here. But this is going to take quite a long time, and I'm a little bit unhappy with that. So, you know, we doubled 2 pieces of ore and used pretty much all of our MRU stored. But I mean, it does quickly refill. Just start refilling here in a second. But if we kind of let it go, I think it would take, you know, probably forever to do a whole stack of things. So I'm not that happy here. We're going to need probably another 1 or 2 of those. Even though I don't think that's going to work. See, this only has 1 slot for a bound gem. So in order to kind of get better storage of MRU, we're going to have to make an MRUCU, which is a MRU control unit, magic radiating energy, or magic radiating unit, control unit. As terrible as that sounds, the mod author should probably work on the acronyms in this pack. There's MRU, there's MRUCU, there's UBMRU, there's MRUCU EC, I think, enrichment chamber, and that is what we're going to have to make. We're going to have to find an MRUCU, which is a naturally generating entity, and we're going to have to basically bring it back to base, and we're going to have to build a control unit or enrichment chamber around the control unit, and that acts as a battery, basically a big old storage of MRU. We're full up here, we're full up here. So this is not very efficient. I'm just going to leave this stack in here and kind of see how it does, and we'll come back to that. Anyway, let's see, we did unlock a whole new chapter. 2 chapters, it looks like. Engineering. There's a whole bunch of things in here. So we can start making crystals. There's an ender generator, which basically harnesses endermen and makes MRU from it. There's a cold distillation, which basically, let's see, here is how you make the cold distiller. Cold stone, and glowstone, snow, and ice. Not the worst thing in the world to make. How do you make this? MRUMP, and we need a cold, see, this is what I was talking about. You need a cold MRU balance in order to craft that. So we're not going to be able to make that. Magical water basically removes all your status effects. There's a magnet. There's a lantern, lights things up. Magical digger basically is a multi-use tool to break, you know, not only cobble, but also breaks dirt, things along those lines. So this is a storage. You can store MRU on yourself, which powers these rods and other tools. MRU reactor. So MRU and electricity and MRU, blah, 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 blah. You can create an infinite source of MRU with using these 2 or somewhat similar. It's tough things to build, so the structure of the shape will come in 3 layers. So it's a multi-block structure. This is how you craft anything. And it creates emery. I've never done that before. Something we could do. Solar. Let's see. Makes a really small amount of MRU, but it's a... Okay. Just place the glass under an open sky during midday, no rain, no clouds. Will create a beam of destructing solar energy able to melt through metals. Now you just need a way to harness the power. And this is the sunray absorber. This device can absorb the rays of energy, generating a shocking 500 MRU per tick. Okay, that's a lot. Okay. Interesting, we could do that. These are other ways to make power. Magical repair, monster duplicator, we will be using this at some point. This is basically the mods grinder, where like where you would make a mob farm and you would have this thing that kills the mobs and collects the drops. And instead what this monster duplicator does, it doesn't kill the mobs, but it makes mobs drop what they would normally drop. So instead of having to have a spawner continually spawning things, you could just make a cage with some zombies in it and have this next to it and give it some MRU, and instead of the mobs dying, they'll just stay there, and eventually, every certain round, every time interval, this will tick, and it will make them drop their items. So, you can have, if you could get a bunch of Endermen to stay in one room together and not leave, you could have them just continually drop Ender Pearls, etc., etc. This wind tablet, which we're definitely going to have to make, wind tablet, in order to get to the new dimension. So there are just like a whole bunch of things. Magical pork chop, at the cost of MRU, restores hunger. You never run out of food that way. Magical wings. Basically, lets you fly. It's not like creative flight. It almost reminds me of the sigil from Blood Magic. Let's see. Magnetic staff. Okay, so you right click on an ore and it turns it into the alloy. Very interesting. Frozen mace. So it slows anything that's a weapon. Chaos fork. First strike deals 6 damage. Upon the next hit, 2 unblockable damage will get added. Stacks indefinitely. That's a weapon. Biome wand. You can take the biome, the shield, the armor. Moonwell. This is basically the opposite of the solar generator. It makes MRU at night. Monster holding device basically holds mobs in place. Magical enchanter, you can enchant stuff. Potion spreader, gives an area of effect potion use. And lots of different elemental charms that give you different effects. So, that's a whole lot of things, guys. And that's why I said this is one of my favorite mods, because you could pretty much have a pack with just EssentialCraft, and you could do pretty much everything you wanted. Now, like I said, this is not very... Oh, actually, that didn't work half bad. That's number 14. They're still kind of going, I think. Yeah, we're still chugging along here. Not too quickly. It's going. you know, you have more doubling. Eventually, when we get to the next level of the book, we'll have more quadrupling. We have different crafting methods. We have different tools, different weapons, flight, etc., etc. So you can pretty much do everything you wanted to do in modern Minecraft in EssentialCraft, and that's why we're going to delve pretty deep into it. That's pretty much all we're going to do at this point. We'll do a lot more in the coming episodes. There is one thing I wanted to show you. Let's sleep real quick. During my adventures killing mobs between episodes, I found a pretty cool biome that I did not know existed. In this pack, we're using extra biomes, which is a mod that gives you extra biomes. And I found one that I thought was rather interesting. We're going to go to it. I found an ender forest. And look what we have here. This is just a pool of liquid Enderium. And if we just, I think we could just pick it up with a bucket. Did I bring, let's go home real quick. Home. And yeah, let's bring these tanks with us. Let's get a tank or two of Enderium. Sounds like a good idea, right? I don't know what we're actually going to do with this. I don't think we can actually make ender pearls with this. Wouldn't that be nice? Never, you know, not a never-ending supply, but a large supply of ender pearls would be fantastic. Although this is used to make several late-game machines, such as resonant machine frames, lots of other stuff. And this is called resonant ender. I don't know why I labeled it Enderium. You do make Enderium from this. Oh, this is a lot. This is more than I have to store. And this is not just one little pool here. This whole biome is full of these little lakes. Or pond, whatever you want to call this. I don't exactly know what, like I said, I don't know what we're going to do with this. But I do know that I want it. So we're just going to take it. Thank you, extra biomes. Another thing I noticed, I don't know if they're here because it's during the daytime. But from what I found, and you'll see I got these ender pearls, in this biome, it seems more often endermen are spawning as compared to other mobs. So I think if we need ender pearls, we could probably just come here and just, you know, wait for nighttime, and then it looks like, oh gosh, let's ravine in a mine shaft. That'll be nice to explore. Okay. But there are just pools kind of everywhere in this biome. Of course, I'm not going to go. Here's another one. There's just another pool of resonant ender. Probably another one around here. I just thought this was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. This is the first time I've ever played in a pack that has extra biomes, and this is probably one of the coolest biomes I've seen. Like, are you serious? Just pools of resonant ender. Just laying there. Now I think if we had, I think Tinker's construct in here, we could use smeltery and this resonant ender to make ender pearls. But I don't think we can do that in here. What can we do with the resonant ender? Resonant ender, I guess a bucket of resonant ender. Okay. How to use this? Use Enderium blend. Tesseracts. We can make a tesseract with it. We can put it in a fluid transposer. Make Enderium. Pretty much everything I think we can do with it. So what can we do with, no. See, I wish this would go the other way around. Yeah, we can't use fluid, can't use this. So what can we use? Resident Ender. Didn't look like there was a use. Yeah, it's not looking like it. Okay, so we can use this bucket to make an Ethereum blend, which can make Ethereum ingots. That's the only thing. So we can make resonant energy cells, flux capacitors. This kind of lets us skip this last end. We're not going to have to worry about Ethereum gears, Ethereum ingots. We're just going to have to worry about all the other stuff. So once we do get into tech, we will be able to kind of go all the way to the end. Let's see, lots of things you can do with Ethereum apparently. So resonant energy cell. So to do that, we basically won't have to worry about this Ethereum ingot. So we'll have to make the redstone version, which is Electrum, and we'll have to make the hardened one, which is made out of Invar, and then the regular one's made of like iron or lead. And at this point, we don't really have a problem getting metals. I think we do have a problem getting ender pearls, and at least for the moment, that's not going to be a problem, because we have lots of interior resident ender, and oh my goodness, it's like, where is it? It's like we got a little too close to something here. There it is. We are really far from you. I'm sorry, sir, or madam. I was just trying to show my friends a cool biome I found. And you gotta be a big old meanie. Anyway, guys, I think we're gonna end the episode here. And I just wanted to show off this cool biome I found. And actually, we're probably gonna explore this mine shaft in this whole area, really. And we'll come here at night in order to get ender pearls. But let's try and get a shot with the resonant ender. If you guys like what you see, please hit the like button, please hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.